Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome back to Lone Oak Farm. It's day 3, we've skipped into the middle of summer. And as you can see, we have a lovely, glorious morning here. Sun's just been coming up over the last sort of 20 minutes or so. And there you can see, we have a new silo on the farm. So, just get off the sun lounger for a moment. So you may have seen at the end of the last episode, we made a few little additions. Most notably, I have finally bought my Mustang. Bought it in JBPG blue, or as close to that as I could get. But we do finally have the Mustang with a slightly darker ghosted strip down the middle there. I do quite like that. I've been having a little bit of fun with that. So we have our Mustang finally. And on top of that, as you can see, we also have bought ourselves and commissioned the construction of a forage and chips silo, and I've plonked it just here. This is about the best place I could find, really, that it would fit and not stand out too much from the landscape. It wouldn't, it wouldn't look really out of place somewhere else. So we've got it kind of done so that the grate is on this little through path here, and then our collection area is just here on the opposite side. So we're going to be transferring our TMR from here into our new silo, and we'll end up tearing this building down. So all this stuff off the floor, well, there's not much left in here actually now. This was full. We've eaten away quite a good chunk of that, as you can see, as we've been feeding our livestock. That'll all get torn down and stuck in here. We will actually start throwing probably a little bit of grass in here as well, just because the cows are proving to be quite hungry when it comes to grass this year. They've been munching through it ridiculously fast. And then around the back here, I've also added in another new piece of equipment. This arrived yesterday, and this again kind of goes back to our mods farewell tour. So I've added in another Joskin trailer, and this is the Transpace 7000. This is one of the original Joskin trailers that was released by Black Sheep Modding. They've done quite a lot of Joskin stuff over the past, the course of Farming Sim 17. This was, I think, the first one that came out. 28,000 litre capacity trailer with a choice of standard or wide wheels, and with or without the white loading wall at the top there. They also did a single axle version, which was a 20,000 litre or 21,000 litre. No, I think maybe an 18,000 litre trailer. And then obviously the Trans KTP, which we have over at the orchard, was the third one of those, and then the water trailers came, which we're already using as well. But this was one of my favourites. I used this a lot, and when this first came out, especially on Drummard Farm, which was our first ever farm, really did enjoy using that. So I figured we're going to need something to manoeuvre stuff around here at the farm. Now we have a silo, let's bring back an old favourite. So let's start off by cleaning up a little bit. And we're going to want our Puma. Let's get the engine fired up. There we go. Now, can I connect this to the weight? Or am I going to have to drop the weight? I'm going to have to drop the weight. Okay, that's fair enough. Whoops, just clipped my big end there. That's an expensive thing to do. Let's see, where can we drop the weight? Just here, I think. Actually, that makes more sense to bonk it over here, where we've been kind of dumping the rest of our tools. I'll plonk that just there. I'm going to keep hold of the bucket for now, because we're going to need that in a second. And we'll grab our brand new Joskin trailer. There we go. And let's start pulling out all of the all of the remaining TMR mix that we have pre-made. We're going to be doing some mowing today with the Big M, now that the grass has grown back here on fields 44. Let's get the doors open here. Our animals are now nicely taken care of. I'll just give you a quick overview of the animals themselves. You can see we're up to 151 sheep. That hasn't changed now that we're out of lambing season. We are in really good shape wool-wise. That's pallet number 6 that's being made there. And our cows, you can see, are reproducing now. We're up to 82 cows, and the reproduction rate is 16 hours and 43 minutes. Next one will be in 12 and a half hours or so. And their food troughs are looking very, very nice indeed. We need to do a little bit of tidying up with the cows just here. We'll do that quite quickly now before we start scooping stuff up. We'll do a little preemptive scoop just here. And we're getting to the point where we don't have a lot to do. We do have a couple of fields that need to be sprayed. But we're kind of just waiting for the harvest to come in now. There's not really that much else work-wise that needs to be done. As long as we keep on top of our animal feed kind of situation, because we're not doing a big silage run this year, we kind of don't really have much work left that needs to be done. Ooh! It's like one of those, what are they called? Is it the Weebles? Where you knock them and they just bounce back up again. Just clip the trailer there and sent it flying and it bounced straight back up again. We should probably reposition that so we don't do that again, because knowing me, I almost certainly will do. In fact, we probably don't even need the trailer for this part, actually. Let's park it up out the way. I can just drive this straight into the silo just here. Get our TMR straight into the silo like that. So yeah, we're not going to be putting a lot of stuff in there. This is mainly just going to be storing TMR. We're not going to be doing huge amounts of storage of stuff in here. We are going to transfer our silage though that's currently in the bunker. We're going to transfer that in here as well. Simply so that I can start making up a bit more for the rest of the year, because I'm a little worried that we won't have enough silage left for the rest of the year. We probably will, but just to be on the safe side, and also I suppose to give us something to do, we'll start refilling the bunker here at the farm a little bit. So to do that, we obviously need to clear it up out of the way, and we still have some in there, and I'm not too sure how quickly we're going to burn through it. So better safe than sorry. We'll load that into the silo, and that gives us an opportunity to then start making some more silage here. There we go. So I'm going to carry on emptying this shed out, and once I've done that, we'll break out the Big M. And we'll actually no, before we do that, before we break out the Big M, we'll start moving the silage out of the bunker. We'll get that done, and then we'll break out the Big M and we'll start mowing field 44. So our little shed has been completely emptied of TMR, and so has the silo been emptied. The bunker silo has been emptied now of all remaining silage. That's all been dumped into our new forage and chip silo, so it's time for us to start doing some mowing. We're going to start off really careful here not to flatten my crops, but I'm going to start off just here. Okay, make sure my covers are closed. There we go. And off we go. So with this cut we're just going to do nothing but grass. We're going to split this, so some of this is going to go into the silo and some of this is going to go into the bunker, so that we can start fermenting a new batch of TMR, or a new batch of silage for TMR a little bit later. I'm going to get a nice clean straight run. I'm going to do borders around each edge of the field. Kind of need to, because of the crops that we have nearby. I do not want to damage them any more than I have done to my fields already. I have done little bits of damage on quite a few fields here and there, just little nicks here and there, but I need to try and avoid doing that in future. So I'm going to lift up, I'm going to pass along the top here. There we go, that should do it. Get lower down, do a nice good smooth cut along here. Doesn't matter if I don't get quite to the very edge. And once again, once I've got the border in place, I can leave the worker to run on this, and then we can go and collect our loading wagon, our forage wagon, and we can start collecting all of this up, our forage harvester with our sugarcane trailer. Got to get that border in place first. Make sure we don't cut where we're not supposed to, or drive into a field where we're not supposed to. This big M's going to make fast work of this field, it really is. I mean, whizzing along here with a very nice wide cut and rowing at the same time, and at 14 miles an hour. Yeah, we're going to get through this grass work really quickly. Doesn't want to let me do a worker just there. Let's reposition slightly. There we go. Get a worker to run along this bottom edge, and again the worker has stopped because I'm a little bit too close to the fence. Reposition ever so slightly again. Go. Just run a straight line here. Excellent stuff. Now we're going to do the baseline over here. Just clipping that telegraph pole, that's a little bit too close. There we go. So all that remains now is for us to start the worker on this edge here. Lined up, and off we go. Excellent stuff. So our work is going to start mowing away for us there. We're going to jump into our forage harvester and start collecting all of this up. So I'm going to need to go in this way. That's the quickest way. There we go. We'll need our collecting head. This is the one on the far left. In a way, I kind of wish we'd had this set up last year when we were doing our silage harvest. Have the big M here last year would have made our grass work so much faster and smoother. I also need my trailer, which is parked up inside that shed in front of us. I'm also going to need to refuel as well. You can see we're running a little bit low. It's about 100 litres or so. There we go. So we'll do a quick refuel. Doesn't necessarily need to be everything, but it certainly help. Let's see if we can see our big M in action. Yeah, there it is. We don't need to do a full refuel, just enough to keep us going for a little while, I think. About 350 litres should be good. There we go. So let's pipe out. And fold the header. Get turned on. One thing I have noticed with the big M, and I'm not entirely sure why it does this, but it seems to take its work ethic from the front mowers only, and not the rear mowers. So you can see we get these little patches where the rear mowers don't complete to the same distance that the front mowers do. I'm not quite sure why it does that. It's like it only, like I said, it only counts as, you know, completing its pass based on the front mowers and not the rear mowers. So we end up with these little tufts at the end of each pass like that. We will have to just kind of manually mow those out at the end, I think, but this will be such a quick and amazingly quick and easy way of getting this field mowed. Let's see, we started this, what, if we say 9:15 by the time we got this field started with doing the border work. By the time we get this finished, I reckon we'll be no later than 11 o'clock. It's not like we have far to travel. You can see how quickly the big M is just munching through the grass, creating these lovely rows for us to just gobble up with this. And we don't need to transfer this off into the truck either to dump it in the silo. We can do that ourselves with our silo being placed so close. So we're going to stick everything into the silo to get us started, and then from there we'll unload from the silo into the bunker. I think that's going to be the quickest and easiest way to get this done, because this trailer is not good for unloading into a bunker, you know, unless you only want to do one side of the bunker. Because of its side loading tip or side tip action, it means it's not very good. It reversing out as well with its articulated front can be quite a tricky trailer to manoeuvre. There we go. maxed out at just 20 miles an hour. This thing is slow. That big M, a third of the way through the field already, look. Just whizzing up and down. The collecting is definitely going to be the slowest part of this process. So let's get to here, let's spin around. I'm going to pull up to the side here. Again, because of the tip mechanic on this. Select the trailer. And there we go, tipping into our silo. And then what we can do, as I say, at the end is we can take from our trailer, and we can take our truck trailer, and we can park it under the silo, unload, and from there we can dump it straight into the bunker, and we'll have a straightforward rear tip mechanism, so we can just slowly pull the truck forward as we unload it, and that way we'll get a nice, smooth, consistent tip all the way through. We're not going to have a big lump on one side and then try and work around that and struggle to get back out of the bunker again. Wouldn't be a problem again if it was a drive-through bunker, because it's closed at one end. It makes it a bit trickier, and we have to be a bit more careful with how we approach it. Again, just let's be talking about being careful around my fields. I immediately just do a little bit more damage to a field and clip it. Never mind. So you can see just how quickly that section there has been done. The big M's on the final pass there already. This field is going to be mowed in no time at all. Of course, no need to merge it. That's already been taken care of for us. Very smooth. So we'll collect the rest of this up before we get the mower up and running on the next set. Assuming that the big end doesn't automatically transition across, we might carry on moving. Look at that, see, he's got a wide enough working width to actually trigger onto the next section. So he'll just carry on mowing for the whole field for us. That's fine. We can work around that. So I'll start collecting the rest of this up, and I'll catch up with you in a little while. Okay, so I was a little optimistic when I said it should be done by about 10:30. Nowhere near being done by 10:30, although the mowing is done. I'm just basically tidying up these little tufts now, but yeah, not going to be done by 10:30. That's pretty much a given now, but even so, it's still not going to take us too long. We're just in the process of gathering all of this grass up, and as you can see, get this edge of tufts done. The big M can then go back in the shed. It's done its job. We can continue our collecting, and we can even get a worker on here to start weeding this pretty quickly soon as well. I want to make sure I get a little bit more progress done, so I don't inadvertently start to run into a windrow. There we go. Mowing is completed. Just need to finish collecting all of this up now. So the silo is full. We still have a little bit of grass left, and that is where things start to get a little bit trickier. So we need to park up here for a second. We're going to need one of our trucks and one of our truck trailers. I'm going to get this. Should have finished refueling now. It has. Excellent. We're going to get this started on the weeding process. And then we'll get a truck and we'll start to transport some of the grass from the silo over to the to the bunker, and we can start emptying out some of that overfill. We will be keeping some of the grass in the silo for the cows. I know we've kind of resisted doing that up until now, but now that we have the silo, we may as well take advantage of the fact that we can store grass in there for our cows. So we'll keep, I don't know, maybe 100,000 litres at most, and the rest will all go into the bunker. So just get positioned up properly. Go, that'll do. So the worker is off and running, weeding our field for us. Let's grab the truck. And we'll hook up to one of our trailers and then we'll start emptying out grass into the silo. Okay, so are we wedged? A little bit, there we go. Zoom out a bit as well so we can see where we're going. Slow cruise control right down to 0. There we go. It's time to start our tip. Position nicely, that should do it. Off we go. Nice smooth pile building up behind us here. This will make compacting easier in the long run. Sure we're driving in a straight line, yes we are. Okay, so just a few more tips to go. I think another one will certainly give us enough capacity, I think, to get the field finished. Let's start unloading that now. While that's unloading into the trailer, we'll start collecting the remainder of this grass. I do still have some left in here. So I'm going to need to empty that first, and hopefully I've got enough capacity in this trailer to be able to unload or to pick up everything that's left on the field. So let's switch to the trailer, there we go. That tipped in. Start collecting this. This should all fit in the back of this trailer, and then that's this field cleared, and we can really focus on getting our bunker nicely filled up a bit. Always fun to drive these things in first person, don't get much of an opportunity. So let's see, it's day 3. We still have a couple of fields that need to be sprayed. Our cornfields, notably. I think it's just the corn, actually, that needs to be sprayed. So we've got 2 fields here, and then 2... Actually, the cornfields might be done here. No, they should need one more application. So it'll be the 2 cornfields here, the 2 up by the BGA, way over there in the distance. I think that's the remainder of all of our spraying for this year. Obviously, we are still going to have fertilising to do on terms of weeding our grass. Where is our weeder? You can see him out the window. No, he might be behind that pillar. Let's have a look. Yeah, oh, he's just over the hill, look. Oops, we drifted. Waste not, want not. It's an extra 1,000 litres maybe. Nearly. Actually, nowhere close. Just a couple of 100 litres. That's it. All the grass is lifted off this field, so we can really focus now on getting the BGA bunker here up and running. Get a nice big allowance of grass in there. I'll set the lads to start removing the panels. We might have to call a team in to actually remove the frame itself, but we can at least remove the panels. A bit too close there. We can remove the panels from the shed just there where we were storing our TMR before, get that stripped down to a frame, so at least while we're waiting for a crew to come and maybe remove the poles themselves, we can at least use that as a drive-through to get underneath it. Right, let's get that parked back up, back into the truck. Full load of grass here. So same again, we're going to do a nice controlled tip. Start on the opposite side this time. Nice and square if we can. That's pretty good. Go. And then we'll get one in the middle. And then another 3 trailers as well in front of that. And that'll be a nice tidy 360,000 litres or so in here. A very great way to get us started. So there we go. The bunker has been nicely stocked up, shall we say. I've got 7 loads in there in the end, 3 in the centre and then 2 on each end. Get the truck away. Now it's time to start compacting that a little bit, squash it up and make room for another round of grass in a few days' time, or maybe even sooner than that, possibly tomorrow. We still don't have a lot of work left to do. Yeah, let's grab the Magnum. And where is our leveler? It should be here. There it is. Extend it out. Raise it up, change the angle, get cruise control nice and slow. Start to push this towards the back at a nice controlled rate. Interesting to see what style of bunkers we get on Farming Sim 19, if we're going to get kind of closed pits like this, the long open-ended pits, or if we're going to see, at least on Ravensport, the American map, where we're going to see sort of just the large area where we kind of just dump silage in the middle and then wrap a tarpaulin over the top of it, and it's in the open area, like on the Horse aggravation map. There is obviously the BGA and some bunkers where you can just do bunker work like this as traditional style bunker farming or bunker silos, but there was also just a large pit area. If ever you look on YouTube and you look at large silage operations in America, usually it's with a ton of John Deeres working this mountain of silage and just kind of driving up both ends. You see trucks coming in and dropping it at the bottom, and then a huge number of John Deeres, like 9Rs I think, just pushing it up with blades into just this giant pile and compacting it down. I wonder if we'll have that style of silage on Ravensport. That'd be kind of cool. I get the feeling probably not, but it'd be nice to see that actually built into a default map, the opportunity to do that. Even if there's still like a BGA somewhere, even if we have like an area where we can do silage like that. The only map I've seen, or at least the only map on console, that actually gives you the option to do that, as I say, is the Horse aggravation map. It'd be nice to at least have a few maps over Farming Sim 19 where we could do that and try and build, the big silage piles in an opened out area. I think that'd be quite a cool experience to do. Something a little bit different from bunker work, just having that large concreted area where we could just drop it and build a pile somewhere in the middle of it. Let's work on the opposite side. Same again, just gradual movements. Try and get this chaff distributed a little bit more evenly. Need to kind of push some over to the side a little bit as well. We're leaning at the moment because we've got an uneven distribution. Yeah, that should help a bit. So now we'll lower the blade angle. And same again. Excellent stuff. So I'll carry on sort of compacting this up a little bit, getting it pushed towards the back. I'm not going to fully condense it. We're going to leave this kind of ramp that we've built here, because that'll just make it easier for further additions, and then again at a later point we'll come back and we'll do another run with the blade, get everything pushed and squashed. Just distribute this central strip a little bit better. Beautiful. Now we've got a nice smooth surface for us to drive in on. Just a little couple of lumps need to be tweaked. Excellent stuff. Okay, so we have our nice new surface. Brilliant. Let's park the blade up and check in on the progress of our weeder. Well, our weeder's been making excellent progress on the field, as you can see here. Just storming his way through this. I've gone ahead and I've put in a border at the top, and I've also put one at the bottom as well, just to make sure that we get full coverage and also to avoid the risk of driving and damaging crops. We do have narrows, but there's no telling what damage we could possibly do with the weeder itself when it's down. In theory, nothing, but if we're not working, you know, if we make a manual turn with the weeder down, and you know, it's possible that we might potentially cause a little bit of damage. I don't know. I just to play it safe. And at the bottom end, it's just because of the proximity to the fence along the back of the house there. There's a chance that, you know, certain bits won't get done. So I've done a quick perimeter check, and everything else is fine. And work has done a great job. So we'll just leave them to it. So let's take a quick look and see what is remaining work-wise. That's the state of our fields there, as you can see. So everything now, apart from corn, is into its final growth stage. So if we just go to soil here, soil composition, you can see we're putting stage 2 back onto this field, having weeded it and mowed it. Oh, I think we need to put a second stage. Yeah, we need to put another stage on this field over here. Now, I wonder if that's grown. I forgot to weed that yesterday. I wonder if that's stage 3. It might well be. So that's another job that we could get done. Send the weeder over there. We do need to spray these to stage 3. And these two fields also need to go to stage 2. I forgot they were a further stage behind. So we're going to jump into our sprayer. We're going to take it up there and spray those two fields. Then we'll check on the grass level over here on the way back and see whether or not this field does actually need to be weeded, or you know, is ready to be mowed. Because if it is, we'll have to get that weeded today so we can mow that tomorrow. So let's jump out. Let's hop over the fence. You know what? Let's take the car. We'll go and check the field in our brand new Magnum. I don't know why I called this a Magnum. In our brand new Mustang. There we go. We can really get some speed up on this thing. This is very, very fast. Scary fast actually along here. Hitting 90 miles an hour is just like, that's too fast. Bouncing all over the place. It doesn't take much for it to start bouncing out of control. There we go, onto a smooth, solid surface now. Should be a little easier to control. Oops. Luckily, I didn't swing out into traffic there. There's nobody around. Let's open her up. See just how fast she can do. 101 miles an hour. That's fast. Let's slow it back down again. Don't want to attract local law enforcement. Let's get back to sort of normal speed limits. This thing is very, very fast. It's awesome. Look at that. Beautiful paint job there. That ghosted stripe down the middle. And let's look in. It does look like that grass is fully grown, doesn't it? Yeah, it is. That's fully grown. Okay, so we need to get the weeder on that today. Let's just check, see how many wall pallets we've got while we're here as well. We should be on 6 pallets. I did move some out of the way while tending to the animals yesterday. Let's have a look. Yeah, so there you can see, if we just jump out, there's 4 pallets all squashed up nicely just there. That's a full pallet, and this is pallet number 6, almost done. Let's take a quick look at our animal chart. Just over halfway, so it's 58%. We may as well give these a quick clean while we're here as well. Oh dear, right. They're flying for food, they're flying for water, we don't have to worry about that, but we are just going to quickly clean up this food trough. It is a bit messy. This is another cracking mod as well, this Bobcat. I much prefer this to the JCB skid steer. Just find it handles a bit better. It certainly, I think, looks better. And as you can see, I put the tracks back on. We got those tracks when we first bought it, and then when it was updated, it just defaulted them over to the wheels. I went ahead and I put the tracks back on yesterday, you know, because I missed them. And also the tracks seem to give it a little bit more stability in the turns. So I felt, yeah, that was going to be a very useful thing. And it turned out to be, as we were moving stacks of 4 bales there rather than stacks of 3 as we have done previously. It just made it a little bit easier and a bit more stable with the tracks than the wheels. There we go. So, back to the farm. We'll grab the sprayer. And then we'll go and spray out fields 5 and 6. Get them up to stage 2. And then bring the weeder over here and weed out field 24. And I think that might be the last thing that we do today. And then we can spray our other 2 cornfields tomorrow while we're mowing and collecting this field here. This thing's got a brutally fast acceleration. Have to be careful. Right. See you back at the farm. Okay, so we have a great demand for wool, which has just popped up. It started at 5 o'clock. The price at the moment is 9,724. That's not a bad price, actually. And we have, 5.5, approaching 6 pallets worth of wool. So we've got a decent amount to sell. The price is an 18-hour great demand, which means it will carry over until tomorrow, but according to the predictions, the price is in its decline at the moment, so it will be lower once it hits midnight. Now, because this is a long demand and it's only just started, I'm going to wait until after I've finished spraying, and we'll check the price again and see if it has fluctuated at all. If it's gone up, then we'll run as close as we can towards sort of 11-12 o'clock before we sell the wool, so that we can let it go up as much as possible. But if it starts to go down, then we'll sell it immediately. So we'll let, as I say, the time kind of whiz through a little bit as we spray our 2 cornfields. That won't take us very long at all. And once those are sprayed, as I say, we'll check the price, and we could be selling some wool straight away or in a few hours' time. So we've moved from field 6 onto field 5. It's almost done, just this little strip here in the middle. And we'll check the price again in just a second. Actually, let's do that now. Let's just get a worker to do this bit here for us while we check. Price hasn't budged at all. It's still 9,274. So we'll just sell the wool now and get it over with. So As soon as this is done, we'll head straight over to the sheep farm, because that's where I've actually already had my truck parked up. We'll move over there, we'll get the wool loaded onto the back of our trailer, and we'll take that over to Green Oak Wool and get it all sold off. Okay, so this is the last of our wool. We'll get this loaded up and run over to Green Oak, see how much money we can make. At what, 9.7? We're looking at 19.4 per case, per full case. We've got 5 full cases, so with the partial case as well, that's probably what, about 60-ish%. We're probably talking somewhere in the region of about 110,000. That's not a bad little haul, that, is it? 110, 115,000. So here we go, off to Green Oak Wool. Make our way around these bumpy little side roads down here. Really is an uneven surface. And this will be a nice little boost. This should hopefully give me enough money to buy at least one of the 2 replacement trailers that we need tomorrow. If we can, we'll ship out both of our boss trailers and replace them with the 70,000 litre Black Sheep trailers. But if we can't, we'll get at least one of them in. I would prefer to do it as a pair if at all possible, just for the sake of the mod count. We are almost out of slots again. We're down to about 50-60 slots, I think, and I do need to make sure I have plenty of slots available for the beat equipment. So replacing both trailers has the minimal effect on the slot count, whereas if I have one of each, that means it's quite high. We're adding in a lot of extra mod slots that we don't necessarily have. So right, here we are at Green Oak. Let's see how much money we make. Trying to get away from getting a shot of the poo. There we go, that'll do. And there we go. Oh, not quite as much as I thought. We've got 105,531. Still a nice little payday, though. So that should enable us to be able to buy both of the Black Sheep trailers tomorrow. We have got a buyer lined up, potentially for both of our trailers. Certainly for one of them, maybe for both. We'll have to see if we can get a second buyer lined up overnight. But I'm going to get this back to the farm, get the rest of the equipment back to the farm, finish off the weeding, and call it a night. That is the end of another day here on Lone Oak. Thanks for watching. I am Jim Bob, and I'll be back with some more Lone Oak Farm very soon.